What's the good word, y'all? It's your boy DKB here. We have an extremely exciting week coming up, in my opinion. Week 4, we're getting ready to face the Denver Broncos, and this is a revenge game, a bad blood situation, and I think this tends to bring out the best when it comes to football, right? It's a violent sport. It can sometimes be a very emotional sport, and while I was one that got drained by the Rex Ryan days of him tugging on the heartstrings, I would love to feed into the bulletin board material that Sean Payton gave us. So, according to the reports or the sources, Aaron Rodgers has let it known blatantly in the building that this is a revenge vendetta game for him, where he wants to make sure he puts Sean Payton in his place. If you guys remember back to last year, coming off of Nathaniel Hackett being hired by the Jets, but also him being introduced as the new coach for the Broncos, he crapped all over Nathaniel Hackett, called him one of the worst head coaches of all time, diving into his Jets tenure, which hadn't even officially begun yet, ended up saying that the highlight of the Jets season would be us being on Hard Knocks, which obviously would mean we ended up where exactly he expected, no playoffs, waiting again, and obviously there was a lot that contributed to it. But then to also put the cherry on top, when he obviously had to walk back his comments in some fashion, he mentioned that he was going to apologize to Hackett, and Hackett later confirmed none of that ever happened. Obviously, the coaching staff tried to treat it as water under the bridge, but I feel like the players, and I think some of them made comments about this as well, wanted to stand up for Nathaniel Hackett. And Aaron Rodgers was one of the premier names that came to his defense, right? I think the comment was something along the lines of, keep my OC's name out your effing mouth. Some kind of version of that, paraphrasing, right? So he couldn't do anything about it last year when the Jets won 31-21. And we obviously have a much better team this year compared to last year. And any time that Aaron Rodgers has had even a minutia of motivation that he can add to his game day abilities, we've seen him ball out. The MVPs, some of the dominant performances he's shown from his Packer days, the list can go on and on. Packers fans will know more about it than I do offhand, but I'm excited for this game for that exact reason. The bad blood, the feud. It's more of a it's probably more of a non-issue at this point. I'm sure Sean Payton has probably forgot about this and gone senile, but I think this could be another blowout dominant type win for the Jets. I'll do a preview video later this week, but you just take a look at what's happening. Rookie quarterback, a running game that still hasn't found a way to catch fire, an offensive line that appears to be struggling, wide receiver weapons and their tight ends that really haven't been able to make much of an impact. Cortland Sutton, being a prime trade candidate before the season even kicked off. Marvin Mims going into his second year, not really making as much of an impact as, the excitement he had around his rookie year. And then defensively, they're struggling. So there's no reason why we shouldn't. The Jets, opposite end of the spectrum, right? We had an ass whooping in week 1, as G5 called it, when the 49ers decimated us. We were opportunistic and able to pull out a win against the Titans. And then now we're coming off of completely owning the Patriots, in which we should. And I would argue that's the same case for the Broncos here. And that's just personally from a defensive aspect, right? Anytime you're going up against a rookie QB, you generally should have the advantage. You have your exceptions like a CJ Stroud type season, something along those lines, but still, for the most part, you should expect to be able to go out there and embarrass them. And hopefully that ends up ringing true, right? Now, I think the team and definitely Aaron Rodgers will probably keep it classy in terms of publicity's sake, but yeah, I believe these sources 100%. I can see him in the locker room looking at G5 right now, letting them know this is the game that you go for, 2 touchdowns and, maybe 200 yards, because I'm going to be feeding you and watch you kill Pat Surtain. Opportunistic as Alan Lazard has been, chances for him to put up points on the scoreboard. It doesn't really matter how it's being done. I expect Aaron Rodgers to potentially architect another 30, 40-point burger game for us. So let me know what you guys think. I don't know how much you necessarily feed into or care about a lot of that drama. I definitely don't. But this is one of the times that I think this is a storyline that it just doesn't get any better than this for potentially hyping up a game that matters a ton for us, right? If you want to talk about the playoff potential of this as well, the Broncos will go to 1-3, currently a 1-2 record. The Jets will shoot up to 3-1. We're definitely there to challenge the Bills when we get a chance to meet up with them. And then you take a look at the top of the AFC, and it's not nearly as strong, at least in this early part of the season, as it was last year. Texans struggling, Ravens struggling. The Chiefs, you can argue a lot of their wins, even though they have them, came by the skin of their teeth. Steelers being a surprise early contender, right? Maybe not surprise, but I don't think anybody expected them to go 3-0 early in the season. So there's an opportunity for the Jets to go ahead and stake their claim near the top of the NFL after this game. Probably won't get much credit again, right, for beating up on a inferior opponent, if you want to call that. But it is what it is. You still have to own the day. So let me know what you guys think about this, though, and I'll catch you soon. Peace.